The houses on Lilac Drive all stood uniform, each a pristine reflection of suburban perfection. White picket fences, freshly cut lawns, and porch swings that barely creaked. Yet, when Clara moved in, she noticed something none of the others seemed to. Every night, at exactly 3:13 a.m., a pale, flickering light illuminated the second-floor window of the house directly across from hers. There was no discernible cause, no lamps, no televisions, no passing cars. It was erratic, unpredictable, almost organic in its pulsation. She asked her neighbors in passing, all of whom acted politely confused, offering exaggerated smiles that barely masked their unease. By the third week, Clara stopped asking. The light became her fixation. She found herself waking moments before it appeared each night, hovering by her window, her lips dry and her palms pressed against chilled glass as she stared. The house across the street stood dark during the day, the curtains perpetually drawn. She hadn't seen anyone enter or leave since she moved in. During the day, she paced through her home with her curtains drawn tightly shut, ignoring texts from friends and unanswered phone calls from her mother. The question gnawed at her. Was someone there? And if not, what was causing it? She began jotting notes in a spiral-bound notebook, every nuance of the flickering light, every peculiar detail about the house. Next to her growing notes was an array of Polaroids she'd snapped of the house during the day, each more blurry than the last, no matter how steady her hand had been. One night, Clara found herself standing at the edge of her driveway at 3:10 a.m., clutching her notebook against her chest as though it were a shield. The street was unnaturally quiet, the hum of distant traffic muted, the air too still for comfort. She moved briskly toward the house across the street, her heart hammering. The flickering light was starting now, even stronger than usual, spilling into the cracks of the drawn curtains like tiny probing fingers. To her surprise, the door was unlocked. It groaned open, and the air inside was suffocating, heavy with disuse and something vaguely chemical. She climbed the stairs slowly, feeling a presence she could not see, each step creaking beneath her weight. At the top of the stairs, the flickering light spilled out from the only open door. She was trembling now, but compelled forward. Inside the room was not what she expected. There was no lamp, no bulb, no discernible source of the light. Instead, the walls pulsed faintly, the flickering embedded in the paper itself, like a living, breathing thing. The air in the room tightened around her, heavy and stifling. The notebook fell from her hand as the door behind her clicked shut with a finality that turned her stomach. Her breath hitched as she felt a whisper, not heard, but felt, brushing past her ear, a voice slipping through her mind like an unwelcome thought she couldn't silence. It asked her a question she could neither comprehend nor answer, looping endlessly until her knees buckled beneath her. From the edge of her blurred vision, Clara thought she saw faces pressing against the walls, not painted or drawn, but real and moving, emerging faintly from the flickering patterns before fading back into the wallpaper. When her neighbors found her house abandoned days later, all they noticed was the open notebook still on her porch and Clara's curtains, forever pulled tightly shut.